Hi everyone, this is Mary with School Signals. I'm today here with our CEO, James Shields, and we'll be talking about the new feature that we just launched in January 26, text-to-speech voice messages. And what is exciting about this feature is that it is multilingual, which means that we can deliver those voice messages in the parent's home language. So in the past, I would say voice messages was maybe the kind of the almost the only way how schools could quickly reach families. Now, times have changed since the late 1990s and even early 2000s. Back then, schools might have a static website where they would update information, but how would families know that anything has been updated there? Because there were no kind of communication platforms and apps to keep parents up to date. So voice messages were almost like the number one, robocalls were the number one way to quickly reach out to parents. So there's a long history with sending voice messages. But what is exciting today, that now we can kind of pinpoint and choose when we are sending those voice messages, and we can use them kind of strategically to reach families perhaps who don't speak English very well or read English very well, so they can hear the kind of the essential communication via a voice message. And just to go through kind of like some of the statistics. So currently it's been estimated that 1 in 5 US students speak a language other than English at home. And this is about 8% of families living in the United States who are kind of, I think it's self-reporting that they understand English less than very well. I also from Finland, as maybe you can kind of, wonder, like, what is this? So I would report myself that I can understand and speak English well, enough to understand school communication, but there are a lot of families who really quite rely on getting this communication um, in their home language too. And it's so important, because what is more important to families than their child's education and kind of like what's going on with their child in school? James, do you have anything to add to this topic?
Sure. I,
Yeah.
I, I think that what's wonderful about being able to communicate in the language that's preferred by a family is because the nuances come across that we don't have to worry about, them missing a word or some aspect of what we're trying to tell them didn't come through. It's in their native language. And that's a very inclusive approach. We're building the system so that you have your equitable communication. That we're referring to the outcome of the communication when we say that should be equal. And the way to do that is to speak to people in the languages they understand and not just assume that everybody, is going to be, perfectly fluent in English, because that's just not the way our country is.
What can we say about the technologies that we are using, James?
Well, that's a great question. I think what we're living now is in a very interesting time because these technologies just were not available, years ago. And what we're doing is we're using a combination of things. Our platform is hosted on AWS, and we're using the AWS Claude AI for translation. And what we're doing, though, is we're merging that with our provider for voice calling, programmable voice and text, which is Twilio, and they also have sort of a language localization. And so we're kind of marrying the two features together to really build a kind of a neat system that seamlessly takes the language, as typed, and translates it to the language of the preferred language of the family, and automatically translates it and then automatically speaks it in the same sort of nuanced language tone that is appropriate. So it's just not sort of a bumbled robot voice. It actually comes across, very fluidly.
And I have one more question to you. Is there a processing time, like as a school leader or school administrator, I'm creating this text, which I assume it is, okay, I know it is our post. So I make a post,
Yeah.
which is then sent to be converted into a voice. But how about when it's been translated into another language? Is how quick is that process?
That's pretty much instant.
Yeah,
You're
that's
not going to
amazing, isn't
notice.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
yeah,
You're not going to notice a time delay on that. And
yeah.
um, I just wanted to add one more thing because
Mm.
you were talking about our system in terms of making a post, and I think that's one of the other beautiful things about this modern sort of approach that we have with regards to adding voice communication as a channel for how to reach families is that uh, once they get, if they miss the call can, they get the call, whatever the case is. In the old days, that just might be it. That's you just leave it alone. It's a standalone system. In our system, it's just another sort of branch of our communication that reaches out to the family. And so they can always log back into school signals and read the full post. And again, also in their own, native language. So it's a kind of a
And
holistic approach. Yes.
And if I may add, what's neat about this that, robocalls traditionally has been one way. Parents are called a certain piece of information and then they receive it.
Right, right.
But now they also have an opportunity and an option to leave a comment or ask a question. They
That's
can come
right.
to the platform and do that.
That's right.
So it can give them an opportunity to really, if they need more answers, they can ask questions, or if they want to have more dialogue, they can leave a comment, or they can just private message also the person who made that post, or kind of trigger that voice message,
Right, right.
if they want to.
Which will also be translated. So it's a
Yeah.
beautiful sort of fluid system like that. So we could talk about the delivery of messages and show this in action. We are, sending voice messages to families in their home languages. Our system allows for sending, crafting in one place and then having it kind of branch off into however the user wants to receive it. What that's voice calls, that's text, that's app push, that's SMS and email.
I could a little bit talk to that. So in essence, and I think how modern systems should be designed today, we have to respect those users' notification preferences. So the user can opt into a text messages or voice messages. If they have downloaded the app, our app, they can get app push notifications and they can get email notifications. They can choose if they want to get that email notification immediately or if they want to get a daily email notification which combines all communication into one notification, unless the topic of the post is a critical alert. So for critical alerts, we have, I'm not going to cite the law, but we have laws, which we have well-researched laws, that schools have a right to reach out all parents, instantly. So if the school leader or the school administrator makes a critical alert, that alert is being delivered with all methods of what we have in our arsenal, right?
Yeah.
So they get a text message, they get a voice message, they get an email, and they get an app push notification. But this is only for the and even the users who don't have active accounts, who've never activated their account in our system, if the school has their phone number or email on file in our system, we'll notify them. Okay, but that's just for critical alerts. I mean, I'm not saying just, but that is for the case of critical alerts that are highly important.
Yeah, that's a common sense thing that is
Yeah.
nice to see in the FCC that allows us under certain situations that they lay out that allows us to sort of bypass or reach out to families regardless of settings to make sure that they're aware of things in sort of a critical time sensitive manner situation. Well, would you like to take a look at how we might do this in
Yeah,
action?
yeah, let's go ahead. I mean, you're going to be showing it, right?
Right.
So the voice message sending is baked into a add post and make a critical alert interfaces. So when you are sending a voice message, you don't have to go to any special section on our platform. You're just going to be making a post, and in that post interface, you'll be selecting that you want to trigger voice notifications. And on the other hand, if you're going to be making that critical alert that is highly important, will automatically send out those voice messages. So, and they are going to be then automatically translated to the parent's set language. So yeah, so let's go ahead and check it out.
Let's look at our system. So this is our school signals school feed. And here an administrator would want to make an update that's timely about the change in the pickup time for a field trip. So they would click add post. They would add the information about that change in pickup time. And then if they would like this to go out as a priority post with a text message or a voice message or a text and a voice message, they just select that as the
Okay, I just want to pause there so people understand, our listeners understand that this will make the post. And these are notifications, okay? So the voice message, so the post is going to be spoken as a voice message, but it will also make this post. It doesn't just send it out as that. It's a post plus how it's been notified on. Yep.
Right. And as you were saying earlier, that allows the receiver of the notification to come back into the system through the app or through the web to make a comment if they want or ask a follow-up question. And it creates that sort of dynamic two-way situation. Well, let's share this post.
Mm-hmm.
So this, like you just said, generated the post instantly, and it also made the call. If we were a household that the primary language spoken in the household was not English, maybe it was Chinese, you would then receive it in your preferred language. So let's take a listen to what this post would sound like in Chinese.
实地考察接送时间。由于意外的交通延误，今天的实地考察接送时间是下午4点，而不是下午3点。感谢您的耐心和理解。
Okay, so this is exactly why it's then important to use clear language when you're making that post, because as an administrator, I don't know Chinese, so I trust that our system translates it well, but we want to use clear and concise language when we are crafting these posts to kind of ensure that they get translated then well.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what else can I say? The voice messages feature is included to all school signals plans. It's highly important because it's also our critical alerts are included to all the plans. So basically, regardless whether you choose to use our volunteer sign-up feature or our online forms feature, you'll get we consider this a core feature, so it will be included to all the plans when you're signing up. And I do think we get also delivery reports on these voice messages who received the voice message.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well,
that's very
thank you, James, for your time and as you keep working on. And what do you have on the pipeline next? What are you working on currently?
Oh, we have a full Spanish version of the app coming out soon, and that's very exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I think we're going to be the first school communication platform that offers fully custom translated user navigation experience in Spanish. So everything is going to be Spanish. We're going to translate all content with the help of AI into Spanish, but also we're going to have every single kind of a button and user interface is going to be in Spanish, and not just kind of some kind of quick translation. It's going to be kind of verified, and it's going to load as fast as the English version because it's a real thing. It's not going to be sent anywhere for translation.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay, thanks.